Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bert Ferguson, Realtor here from Rush Realty Group in Dover, Delaware. I'm just coming to you guys with a new series of vlogs called The Truth in Real Estate. What I'll be doing is every week I'll be coming to you guys with pretty much new information and other types of things that I've been getting questions about from different clients, other realtors, and just other real estate professionals. Just some questions that they've been having, and a lot of people have to go to different websites or different places to get information. And what I wanted to do was pretty much make a vlog series where all you have to do is come to YouTube or wherever you're watching this and get all the information that you're going to need. So what I'm going to do is probably release them once every week. And it'll just be a different topic, and we'll pretty much just go from there. So what I want to do is this week start with our vlog, the very first one. And the information today is going to be called The Truth in Real Estate, Millennials and Home Buying. Okay? So with this one, we're going to talk about millennials. Okay? So millennials are a brand new age group that are coming to the adult age now, and a lot of people have questions about millennials. Who are they? What their buying habits are, and they're pretty difficult to track. So what I did was I want to make this vlog about them and home buying, so it can make things a little bit better for you. Okay, so let's start with some information and some facts first. Okay, so what is a millennial? All right, so first of all, a millennial is going to be anyone born from the year 1985 to about 1999, okay? They're going to be about 18 to 36 years old, and the people who came up with that term is actually two researchers named Neil Howe and William Strauss, okay? And there's about 83 million millennials in America right now, as opposed to baby boomers, who was the last largest age group, who were born in 1946 to 1964, so about post-World War II era, and that's 74 million of them. And this information is coming from the census.gov. So as you can see, millennials are a huge group, and they're growing. They're growing in the market of purchasing homes, and a lot of people are having difficulties figuring out how to target them, and also how to find homes that fit their unique needs. All right, so the next thing we'll talk about are millennial traits. So what are the traits that most millennials would have generally? Okay, so first one is they're born under technology. This is the biggest one. Computers, iPods, iPhones. These are technological advances that millennials use as a necessity on a daily basis. Most age groups now use them, but they weren't reared under these. So a community or a life without some of these handheld electronics or even laptops and computers and high-speed internet, not having these is almost a foreign concept to most millennials, okay? They'd rather text than talk on the phone, which is another big thing. A lot of my millennial clients, I'll call them, they won't answer, but they'll text me right back. So if you have someone who generally likes to text, they're probably a millennial, okay? The internet is essential, like we said before, coming up under technology. And another interesting statistic is 50% of them consider themselves politically unaffiliated, which is very interesting. Another 29% consider themselves to have no religious affiliation. So that's also pretty interesting as well. Another big topic, especially for myself, being in real estate, is 1/3 of millennials still live at home. So if you're watching this right now and you still live at home, you're probably a millennial, okay? Or maybe not, who knows? If you are, get with me and we can try to help you out with that. All right? So here's the main point of the video: millennials and home buying. Let's figure out how we can come. First, I wanted to give you some information and some context about millennials. And from there, we'll kind of figure out where we need to go. So next, we'll say millennials in home buying. According to Fannie Mae, a Fannie Mae 2014 survey, 46% of millennials want to buy a home and consider their next move to be home ownership. That's a very, very good sign. Especially since we millennials, and if you're watching and you can't tell, I myself am a millennial, so I can attest to a lot of the information in here. But anyway, most millennials still believe that the average age of buying a home is 31 years old. But an interesting statistic is that The 31-year-old today makes about $2,000 a month less than a 31-year-old 20 years ago in 1997. I'm gonna say that again. So if you actually look at it, a 31-year-old today makes $2,000 less than a 31-year-old 20 years ago in 1997, based off of just basic inflation and how the market is. Another interesting statistic: 93% of millennials see home buying as a sign of making it. So currently, 31% of home buyers are millennials, but as we said before, 93% consider home buying a big sign. So with 80 million millennials, 90% of them do want to buy a home. So I think that's a huge market. If you can correctly market to millennials, and if any millennials are watching this, if you can find a realtor who can speak your language through technology and give you information like this via video or via social media that connects right to you, I think that's a good thing, and that relationship can get you into that 31% that actually own homes right now. So let's get into why millennials are not buying right now as aggressively as, let's say, 25 to 35-year-olds did 20 years ago. All right, and there's a lot of factors as to why that is. All right, so the first one is insufficient credit score due to student loans and credit card debt. Credit card debt is a little bit more serious than student loan debt. Both you want to pay off. But student loan debt right now has a major grip on a lot of millennials, but it's not going to hinder your home buying in certain aspects, and we'll get into that a little bit later. The next one is affording your 20% down payment, which can be daunting for a lot of people, especially within Delaware. The average home is about $189,000 to $199,000. That's about the average entry point for the average home in Delaware. So coming up with 20% of that for a millennial can be a daunting task. So that's another reason why some aren't buying right now. Right now, they just don't have enough to cover that monthly payment with everything else going on. Being that we have a down job market, especially after the recession, we're slowly recovering. It's difficult for a lot of people to, especially coming up small family millennials, are having trouble trying to float that monthly payment. With that debt to income ratio needing to be 28 to 36%, basically meaning that your revolving debt cannot exceed 28% and cannot exceed 36%. So depending on certain aspects, and that'll be something that another lender, someone who's a mortgage broker or mortgage officer, can explain. And I might have another one of my vlogs have a loan officer come in and pretty much give you guys some more information on that. All right, so here are a couple of options. Now that we've gone through that and we've kind of explained what millennials are and some of their traits and what their aspirations are and what some of the hindrances are, getting them into the housing market as aggressively as we want to, let's figure out what some of the options are. So some of the options are first-time home buyer programs. Delaware has a great array of first-time home buyer programs. And again, I will get a lender to come in, someone who works in mortgages and would help get your pre-approval. I'll get someone to come in and chat with you guys about what some of those programs are. One of the most popular ones, even though this is not necessarily a first-time home buyer program, but the FHA loan with 3.5% down is one of the most popular loan packages out right now because of that 3.5% down. It gives you a chance to get your home, but you don't have to build up that 20%, which can be quite a bit. Next, we'll have some of your options are, another thing to mention is 580 credit score. With that FHA loan that I previously mentioned, a 580 credit score can get you a seat at the table to get some things going. Next is to actually, if you make your student debt work for you, and what I mean by that is if you accumulate student debt but you actually get a degree, that actually boosts your hireability in the job market, and it distinguishes you. So that student loan debt that you're carrying, it can actually help you later on because it makes you eligible for a higher paying job. So that's another thing, is to kind of continue on with school get a higher paying job, and that way you can still come and enter into the job market that way. According to Zillow, the home buying percentages went up with each degree level. So let's say bachelor's degree, you have this percent that can get a home, and it goes up: master's, PhD, a doctorate, etc., etc., etc. The higher degree that you get, the better chance of you getting approved, getting your home, pretty much. All right. So school. So some misspellings are that, or some things that are misconceptions are that school stops home buying. That's not true. Schooling doesn't do that, and like how we said before, the more you actually go through with school and finish, it boosts you up into a better job market, which in turn gives you more income, which in turn makes your pre-approval chances look a little bit better there. Another reason why a lot of millennials are not buying right now, though, are weddings. A lot of millennials are getting married. They're putting the money that they would generally maybe put into a home into getting married first. Many people are doubling up their income, so getting married is actually sometimes a strategic financial move for a lot of people, because now that they've come together, they can unite incomes, and this way, once they go in for their pre-approval or to speak with a lender, they have double the income, which helps a lot of people. It can set you back on your home buying timeline, but it'll set you up a little bit better. So, in conclusion, if you're a millennial and you're looking to buy, get with a realtor who understands you, and make sure that they are having your motives in perspective. A lot of realtors who have been in the business for a long time might oversee or overstep and misstep some of the things that you guys are looking for, which is quick, fast, and link them right there in your social media websites. So again, it's Bert Ferguson, Realtor with Rush Realty Group in Dover, Delaware, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.